post in the Facebook group, the one about running and training while using hostage tape, that maybe you want to reach out and see if you'd be interested in doing this. So thank you very much for that post. That was awesome. And thank you so much for agreeing to do this. Let's jump into it with, how did you hear about hostage tape?
So I have always, or not always, as soon as I guess mouth taping became popular, or I guess it's not even popular right now yet. I was in the field and people were talking about it. So I have tried a lot of different tapes. And I had a friend that was a practitioner, and he just did a quick blurb on his story that said that he was trying hostage tape. And I was like, okay, I have to try this, because I've tried all the other tapes. Nothing seemed to work, just perfectly. So that's
fantastic.
That's where I got there.
That's really cool. And you said you were working in the field. What is it that you do?
So I was working for a nutraceutical company, which is, we sell nutritional supplements to practitioners, chiropractors, doctors, naturopath. So it had been brought up at quite a few of the, just even being in offices. And I tried it a long time ago. And like I said, the tape just didn't work. And so my husband is a snorer, and I thought that I would try it for him. But I also have been a mouth breather all my life. And I know that's not a great thing. And the more I heard about how mouth breathing is not a great thing, I thought, well, I'll try it first. If it works for me, and if he sees that it's not that ridiculous, because he was like, you will not tape my mouth. Absolutely not tape my mouth. And I said, well, you will not sleep with me. So he is in the early stages of trying it. But for myself, I am a runner, and I know that I really have to control my breathing when I'm running and concentrate on it. And what brought me to the post was running up that hill and realizing, hey, this is not only easier physically, but I am running and I'm breathing easier, which was exciting. I ran faster, and I actually got kind of a slower start than usual to that race. So I didn't expect to finish as high as I did in the race. And I am just really noticing, I do Orange Theory Fitness as well. And I notice a lot more during our endurance days, that breathing is much easier.
That's really cool to hear. So after seeing your post, I went for a run, and I wore like hostage tape while I was on the run. And despite getting some looks, I found it very interesting what I found while running with it. Things that I hadn't really noticed before. One of those was just that when I finished the run, I didn't feel like I needed water immediately, because I didn't feel my mouth being dried out. And the reason for that is because I wasn't breathing through my mouth while I was running. And usually I'd be, my mouth's open, I'm panting, and then you get back from the run and you're like, oh my God, I just need a glass of water right now. And then you chug it. I just found that I was so much more calm and so much more just with it after my run, when I was just focusing on my nasal breathing and making sure that I was, in and out nice and slowly. And there were times where it was tough, but it was one of those things that I just didn't even realize how dried out I was becoming, just because of the mouth breathing. Is that similar to what you were finding as well with your running?
Yes, absolutely. And when you talk about your mouth being dried out, the other thing that has been a constant for years, I like to sleep with the fan on, and I'd wake up in the middle of the night, I don't know how many times, coughing and choking up stuff, very unattractive. Huge difference with that. And I am sleeping so much better. One of the things that scientifically, I guess, or you can call it scientifically, that I have seen a huge difference is I wear an Oura ring as well. And my reading, I don't know if you know much about an Oura ring, but
not too much, no.
Okay, you'll have to check with other hostage tape wearers if they have one, because what it does is it gives you a readiness score in the morning, which is based on your heart rate variability and how well you slept. If I do not use Hostage Tape, it absolutely affects my readiness score. And
Wow.
I mean, like hugely. So it's obvious that I'm getting better sleep, more sleep. I don't like to sleep, honestly. So every minute that I can sleep is pretty critical. If I never had to sleep, I probably wouldn't. And I'm I'm really against drugs, so that won't work either.
Yeah.
So it just really, I can see in many aspects of my life where it has made a difference.
That's very cool. So is it an Aura ring? Is that how you say it?
It's called an Aura ring, and it has sensors around your finger. And some people wear them all day long. I only wear mine at night, and I don't base what I'm going to do that day specifically on what my readiness score is. But I do, like, if I'm going to go for a longer run or multiple workouts in the day, I will look at my readiness score and say, hey, okay, maybe today's not the day I go for a long run.
Wow, very interesting. So does it have like a screen on it, or does it like change color? Like how are you able to know your readiness score?
It has an app. Ring? And in the morning, it gives you a summary of what your deep sleep is, what your REM sleep is, your heart rate variability. I've used one for probably 5 or 6, no, probably more than that, since the beta testing of the Aura rings came out. So quite a while.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I'm going to have to look into that.
That's huge difference. And I know when I don't wear it, it just automatically affects my readiness score some. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that you had been a mouth breather for a while and you knew it wasn't the best thing. How long ago was it that you became aware of mouth breathing, aware that it was something that is bad for our health? I know personally, I hadn't heard of this until a year and a half ago, the concept of mouth breathing being bad. When was it that you heard that mouth breathing was bad? It's something that's slowly growing, I feel like.
Yeah.
But only a few years ago, I had never heard of it.
Yeah, probably a couple years ago as well. I knew it was always a problem. As a child, I was a mouth breather. I look back at my pictures and I have my mouth open. My parents had my adenoids out. They had my tonsils out, trying to fix that. When I started really going in depth about mouth breathing, I went to my mom. I said, hey, do I have a deviated septum? And she says, oh yeah, you've always had that. And I said, well, how come you didn't take care of it? And as I read more about it, mouth taping, because I thought, okay, I'm going to have surgery so I can breathe better and I can run faster, I can run longer. And I'm not sure where it was that I read, they talked about before you have surgery for a deviated septum, go try tape. And now I think that it has made that much of a difference that I'm not considering. I'm not a pro surgery person anyway. I also, Huberman, I don't know if you've heard of Huberman Labs. Okay. He just talked about it on his last episode, mouth taping.
Very cool. Yeah. Was that the one with Dr. Andy Galfin?
No.
Is that okay? So we had a more recent one.
Yes,
okay,
it's on breathing, specifically on breathing. But I did watch that series too. Dr. Galfin's from where I'm from.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Andrew Huberman. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I consume a lot of his content.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
Tell him about your tape.
Cool. Yeah, we're trying. He talks a lot about it. So we're definitely reaching out to him. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you talked about the surgery aspect of it, because I read James Nestor's book, Breathe. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one.
Yes.
And it was after reading that book, I was thinking to myself, because I knew I had a deviated septum. I broke my nose years ago and I was considering surgery. And it's at one part in the book where he talks about like the side effects of the surgery. And it just kind of gave me, I was like, I don't have a good feeling about this. I don't want to have to take 2 weeks off and then have this nose surgery. And then there might be all these other complications. And once I started mouth taping and realized that, okay, my nose works even with a deviated septum, it's just totally, I'm like, no, there's no way I will get surgery. This is such a less intrusive way. It's extremely affordable. I feel so much better. The surgery is not going to solve my mouth breathing problem. I'm still going to breathe through my mouth. And now that I mouth tape at night, I can breathe through my nose, no problem. So it's once I went down the mouth taping road, like there's no way I'll consider going back. No,
I agree. Not. I get a little panicky if I am traveling and I think I forgot it.
Yeah. I like going to bed at night where it's okay. My mouth tape's there. I put it on, and you hit the pillow, and you just know you're going to wake up refreshed. Or you hope. I mean, I have 2 young kids, so I don't always wake up refreshed. But but as long as they're not up in the night, then I usually wake up refreshed. It's just you just kind of it feels so good, and I can't even think about what it was like before I started mouth taping.
Mm-hmm. One of the things, going to sleep.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Going to sleep. I know that I've read some comments about people who are kind of panicky or afraid to use it. I think that I do meditation before I go to bed, and having the mouth tape, breathing, relaxing, I think it all goes together as far as those people that are worried about, I can't do it because I'll feel claustrophobic. But that's where your training to breathe, to me, really starts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know I was one of those people. I was pretty terrified the first time I thought of it, because it was 20 years. I remember there was one comment I made in grade 4, and it was about 20 years that I was just a mouth breather. So what I did was I watched an episode of The Office, and I put the mouth tape on, and I just said, like, can I make it through these 20 minutes sitting up? I'm awake. And even then I was still nervous. Yeah. And then after The Office, the next night I tried just watching a movie at night and being like, can I go through 2.5 hours? And then the third night I laid down, and I was like, all right, I know I can make it 2.5 hours. So it makes sense that I can breathe. And it was, I just slowly had to work my way up to going to sleep with it, because I know I was pretty nervous the first couple times too. But so your husband is a little reluctant. Is that what you said? He's not fully sold on mouth taping, or just the idea of it?
Mouth taping. I think he's probably secretly really afraid that he won't be able to breathe. But we were on vacation not long ago, and he did try it for 3 days because he was snoring very loudly. And I told him, everybody in the house is we were there with 3 other couples. Everybody is going to hear you snore. Would you rather wear tape and not be embarrassed by your snoring? Or would you rather be embarrassed just in front of me? So we wore it, and it did help. So he is going to try it more often.
Going to try it more often. Yeah, very nice. Or else he's going to get an elbow into his ribs or something. Yeah,
well, and I have to say, there was a little panic. It's like, maybe I don't want to share it. If you guys sell out and I don't have it.
I know. It's in high demand. It's definitely in high demand. That's for sure. But it just goes to show you, like, so many people, there's such a need for this.
Oh,
and again, like we had said, I hadn't heard about it until a couple of years ago. You said a few years ago. Like, it's one of those things that as people become more aware, they just start reaching out for just tape in general, and then zeroing in on, okay, which one works best.
Yeah. Now,
you had mentioned you had tried some other tapes before.
Yes.
What kind of problems did you find with those, or why did you switch to Hostage tape?
None of them really stayed on great. I tried the straight across. I tried the medical tape. I tried the cross. I really, really have tried everything over probably the last year and a half. And so I thought, what have I got to lose? I've tried everything else. Let me try this. I want something that is the most efficient. And I liked the idea that your tape is breathable through it. So it just, well, your marketing was spot on. So that was probably, And so I don't know. I just think that my willingness to try, because I've tried so many others, I thought it's either going to work or it's not. And it worked. Yeah. So it's the only tape I'll buy.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. That's really cool. Yeah, because that's just the amount of research that went into making it the perfect tape. Because again, I'm sure you saw in the Facebook group, but the founder went through a similar problem of,
Yes.
okay, I know I have this problem and now I need to start using tape, but nothing is working. And then it was like, I need to make something because I need my life to improve. And then from there, it just led to, there's a lot of other people out there with the same issue. So let's spread it and let's share the word.
I was mad I didn't come up with it, honestly.
Same here. There's a bit, you're like, man, what a great idea that was. What a great idea.
Yeah.
Have you told now, like you said, you're you're in the minority, I would say,
Yes.
in terms of female users. Have you told your friends about the fact that you're mouth taping?
Absolutely. And I've given away quite a bit of tape. So I think that a lot of people, well, there were several that were you were out of stock that are going to try it. But yeah, of course. And I'm going to tell a lot more people.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know I have a bunch right now and it's like, hey, here's 3 pieces, here's 5 pieces, try a week. And then you're kind of like, oh man, I gotta make sure I have enough.
I know.
Selfish, like you said.
Yeah.
The other day I found the old tape I was using and I was like, all right, I'm not giving any more out because I don't want to have to go back to using that other stuff.
Yeah, I actually gave away a bunch of my other tape, and one of my close friends, she's like, well, but do you like the hostage tape better? I said, yes. Okay, I'll give you one. So I gave her one.
Here's one. Here's what you could have.
Yeah. If you were okay with all the other stuff, oh, you're going to love this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it really is. I mean, I've tried everything. I've probably tried like 6 or 7 different types of tape, and each one, like some of them worked better than others. Some of them were awful, but each one had their own problems, and hostage tape just nailed it. Even your ability to like move your mouth. So when you are running or exercising or something, it's just that much more comfortable. It's, it's breathable. It's not falling off or sweaty or anything. Like it sets the bar pretty high.
Yeah.
So you say you're using it at night. You're using it while running. Have you noticed any other benefits? You talked a lot about your energy, your running. Have you noticed any other benefits that we might not have thought of, or things that you were just surprised about where you're like, what? I didn't realize that's something that would have changed?
I just think the biggest thing is really being aware of my breathing improving, and even being aware of my breathing. So if I'm walking, with a friend and I'm talking and then I stop talking, I like shut my mouth. It's like, okay, I have to breathe through my nose. I feel better when I breathe through my nose. Never really had an energy problem. I'm a real high energy person. And that is another thing though. People are always say to me, I wish you could bottle your energy. I wish I had the energy that you have. And I think I have increased energy, which to some people, they may want to kill me for that, but I will definitely recommend. I am about to kind of put together a series. I also do some personal training and say, hey, here are some things that do give me energy that you don't have to have in a bottle. And that's going to definitely be at the top of my list.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, part of it is just, it's like, I don't know, it's just me. I just have a lot of energy, but it's neat when you can say, okay, here are 3 things that you can do to really maximize your energy. And one of the ones, like, it all comes down to sleep. I find it's absolutely. Are you putting your phone away an hour before bedtime? Are you watching when you're last consuming caffeine? Are you aware of everything Huberman says pretty much? Are you aware of getting outside and getting sunlight?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. I'm like, okay. And tonight I was like, okay, I'm going to be, as the sun's going down, I got a jet.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's huge things. And things that don't cost people tons of money to make a huge difference in their life.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, everyone's spending, 6, 7, 8 hours asleep at night. So you may as well, hey, here's 4 or 5 super easy things you can do to just make those 6 to 8 hours of sleep way more productive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? It's, rather than tossing, turning, snoring, getting up to go to the bathroom, all that sort of stuff. It's like, let's get a deep sleep. let's track it, and then boom, you're away. Like it's honestly, it's the easiest thing you can hack, I find.
I absolutely. And I love that you include the sleep mask, because I think that's a critical part of sleep as well.
Yeah, very cool. And they have other things that they're slowly planning on bringing out and just turning it into an all around sleep improvement. I'm not sure if you use nasal strips, but they're trying their own brand of nasal strip just to help people breathe. And yeah, the sleep mask, another one, is a huge one.
Earplugs.
You don't want to have any of that. Yeah, that
they should throw earplugs in there as well.
Throw some earplugs in as well. Yeah. But yeah, the sleep mask, just to get rid of all that light pollution as well at night.
Yeah.
Just different things that like you said, non-invasive things that you can do. There's no surgery needed. There's no huge medical procedures. Just easy things that people can do.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, I'll finish off by just saying thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to share your story.
Absolutely.
We're going to use this interview to help people get over their own fears and doubts and uncertainties, to spread the word. You are a member of our Facebook group, so you'll probably see maybe like a clip or two pop up in the Facebook group as well. And yeah, I just want to finish off by saying thank you so much. I really appreciate this.
Thank you. Sorry it got so dark. So it was the interview. Right. But thank you very much. Right. And I plan on being a forever hostage tape person.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Kristin.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.